calendar. First matter on that calendar is the matter of foreclosure of a deed of trust, 620 Windward Drive, LLC.
There, Your Honor.
Sir.
My name is Paul Clevenger. I'm here on behalf of the trustee.
Yes, sir. All right.
I'm Shane Walsh, the appealant, pro se as the current homeowner.
And you were asking to continue, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
All right.
My understanding is that they are attempting to get original documents.
All right. Do you wish to be heard as to?
I have an objection to that. I haven't taken any files or given the objection to the consolidated motion to dismiss and express ruling for.
All right. Well, let's hold that open. Sounds like we've got something to hear. In terms of his filing, can he, I mean, I guess if it's not filed, it's not filed.
They submitted their continuance Friday at 3:02. I just got it this morning to be able to attend to it.
So you, okay. Well, I guess we're going to go through the other matters on this calendar, so if you can get it filed between now and the time that's done, then we'll hear it, but it's got to be, it'll have to be filed. All right, line number 2 is Grantsbrook Nursing and Rehab versus Daniel Quinn. All right, anybody here for Bartwell versus Keith? Do you hear anything? Anything further? All right, let's turn back then to the foreclosure of deed of trust at 620 Windward Drive, LLC. Did you get anything filed? Is anything filed? Sure, where? Reading on that. All right, so the first matter, I guess the matter before the court on that is the motion to continue. Let me get it pulled up. And that's file number 25 SP 1031-680. I will hear from you on your motion to continue.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, we're hearing aids.
I'm sorry, I'll try and speak up. It's your motions. I'll hear from you on your motion.
It is the trustee's motion on behalf of the lender. I have no significant information about the continuance other than apparently they are acquiring original documents in order to meet Mr. Shane's objections. And if you look over what he's filed as an objection to the continuance, this is going to require some digestion. So he really mounts an argument about unfair and deceptive trade practice and so on and so forth. All these things are going to have to be met by the lender, and therefore we're seeking the continuance on behalf of the lender. I cannot represent their position in any way because I'm not the counsel. And so that'd be the showing, Judge.
All right. Yes, sir. I'll hear from you when you mention it. And if you want me to read this before I hear from you, I will, but I'm gonna need a minute, or otherwise I'll hear from you and then I'll read it. So be you.
I'll speak first.
Okay.
Thank you for your time, Honor. The motion for continuance was submitted directly from representatives stating from the lender, not the substitute trustees, although they did use the original substitute trustee's address under the attorney that submitted the continuance. There's been a lot of understanding between subject matter jurisdiction and personal jurisdiction, and there's a whole motion to dismiss that consolidation objection to the continuance kind of breaks down. The main merits behind the appeal was that the clerk did not have authority to say that there was a valid debt when the notes and the deed of trust were bifurcated. And by all means, no documentation can be submitted to undo that bifurcation between them selling the note to two different entities and not being able to actually track the deed of trust that is the security assignment for that personal property note to the real property of the property.
Well, as to your motion, I mean, all we're hearing today is whether or not their motion to continue is granted or not. What are you prejudiced in any? What's your prejudice from?
The prejudice is that even this attorney alone for the substitute trustee has seen the habit of this same maneuver of trying to continue last minute between a hearing getting heard. And multiple times the lender have known, and during the last hearing that allowed the foreclosure sale, they were very well aware that everything was going to get appealed. And then also avoid having to notice a letter and correction for the clerk was submitted to be able to do that. And I do understand the length of the documents and the motions that have been submitted, and I would like all of those to be answered so that other homeowners do not have to go through this procedural prejudice again. And I've also submitted a publication notice for publication letter also. So if the court needs time to actually go through all of those documents and rule on every of those statutes, I'd rather have that happen, but a continuance for the substitute trustee or the lender to produce more documents cannot change the judgment on the bifurcation of the evidence submitted already.
Well, you want an answer to everything that you filed, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I mean, that can't happen today.
Yes, Your Honor, I know.
So
My main issue is that there's a foreclosure for sale order that's granted for tomorrow. And there's bond issues of how that procedural bias plays out, which is well documented in those motions. My best order draft for the court would be to stay the foreclosure sale tomorrow and rehear this trial on the next hearing.
That's not before the court. The only thing that's before, let's see, pull up the.
I believe there's over 40 pages submitted already with, and I'm sorry, I didn't format it correctly with the reference pages of all the statutes and stuff, which I can draft up.
That's all right. I'm gonna read your motion. I'm going to grant the motion to continue. The motion contemplated there was a date in it. For March 30th of 2026. What is Pamilco's schedule for that date? Yeah, I'm not sure where that number came from, or where that date came from. 6th, because that's the closest date that we have to, that's the next court. I mean, there's not anything before then, is there? All right. I'll put it on the next date, and the next date is April 6th, so that'll actually be a week beyond what they've requested, but there have been no prior continuances of the case. And
I'm sorry, you're on.
I'm sorry, I'm not speaking loud enough. The motion to continue is granted. The next time there's court here will be April 6th, so that will be the next court date.
Thank you.
And in the meantime, sir, you'll want to, I'm not here to give you legal advice. I can't give you legal advice, but if you want those issues raised and to be heard, they need to be calendared. So just making sure you understand that.
I thought that was today's calendar, Your Honor.
Well, you filed, what you titled that motion is a consolidated motion to continue. I've closed it out now, but it's more than just an objection to the motion to continue. There was a number of things listed in there that I thought I understood you to say you wanted answered and to be heard on.
Yes, but specifically under the conditions that the precedent of that foreclosure sale that's already been allowed, which more shows towards, again, the merits of the habit and practice of these, to quickly allow that sale to happen before a judge actually hears and sees everything.
Okay, well, I've closed out your motion.
Which also,
That's fine, because I mean, look, I can't give you legal advice anyway, so if you're satisfied with what you got, then that's fine. I was just telling you that things have to be calendared. That's all I'm telling you. So,
understood.
all right, that'll conclude the hearing on that matter.
Thank you, Judge.
I understand that the last matter, we're going to hold that open until 2:00 as they